Do, 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 do. Well, thank you, baby. I gotta get the Ubius Tubius pulled up.
Here's three easy ways.
Oh gosh, why does it? It's so loud. I love that guy's content, but it's so loud. 3 easy ways. So live home stream. God, no wonder I'm stressed. Every time I try to do it, like I was trying to be chill. Oh, hey Wackadoo, hey Anika, hey Steffi Joe, how are all y'all doing today? I'm getting all my situation plugged in. I've got everybody plugged in charging. Yes, catching us from the beginning indeed. So today we are playing with some more polymer clay. This is the polymer clay that we are sending out in our March kits. So that's for this month, our craft along kits. And we are picking up directly where we left off with our Friday tutorial. So in where we had left off there was we have these, let me see if I can just use the cell phone that I record with, use it as flash. Hopefully, let's get this camera. Yeah, well, it didn't last time, so there was that at least. All right, so we're set up here. We've got the same little, there's words for these things, and I can't remember them. It's the Skinner blend cane that we had, this is it baked, but we had made this polymer clay cab and setting out of. And I kind of want to make some more stuff out of it and just kind of see what we can do. So we're going to be playing with polymer clay today. Hey Michelle, how's it going? I've been stalking your channel for 10 minutes. Oh, really? Well, I hope it's a good thing. So what are y'all up to today? I think I'm going to use, I kind of want to make some little mushroom caps. Because I think we had some folks who were interested in having different things be demonstrated last week. Hey Camille, how are you doing? Usually don't catch you until you've been on for 30 minutes or an hour. Gotcha. Oh, Wackadoo says I was watching the cool new tie-dye video you posted. Oh, shameless self-promotion. You're gonna put it in commercial mode real quick? So we just got a bunch of these tie-dye rompers like made. Like we had a blast actually. It was a very good day. But I'm gonna show y'all my outfit. Fit check. Ooh. So I'm wearing mine with a cardigan, but we have some video that I put together for you guys here up on the screen showing each of the designs. I'm keeping this one that I'm wearing because it's my favorite. And hey Holly, hey Callan, how are you doing? Eating potato salad and a barbecue sandwich. That sounds like living a good life. But yeah, we got a bunch of tie-dye made, and y'all, they fluoresce so beautifully under a black light, and I just love it. Like, I'm thrilled. We've got more tie-dye stuff. We've got, it's a mess in here, but it's a working craft room, so that is what it is. And they have pockets, you guys, which the last batch of jumpers that I did not have pockets. And this one, you can fit like a whole smartphone. Like, look at all that pocket space. It's inside out right now. But you can put, I had some rocks and jewelry in there earlier today. You could put like a bottle of water. But oh, well, thank you, Wackadoo. Oh no, Camille says not feeling too hot today. Drawing some untangling, openly using you to distract the brain hamsters. Behold, a distraction. You want to squish and smush some clay with me? Organized chaos like mine. Oh, it's sweet for you to say it's organized. It's kind of just piled there, but we're trying. Hey, Kalisa, how's it going? Hey, Kay, how are you doing? So I was gonna try making a little mushroom. Oh, okay. Hey, Randy, can I play with this thing that we got in the mail? Okay. But yeah, so we've got them. We've got the new tie dyes listed to the website. If any of y'all are curious to see But, and we did modeling. Like, I modeled all of them. That's how I knew that this one was my favorite. And so sorry you aren't feeling well. Hope you feel better soon at Camille. Oh, y'all are so sweet to each other. All my clay is dried out. Even my Sculpey I've been hoarding since 2006. Oh no. Well,
it's only 19 years.
It's only 19 years. Honestly, if you don't want to deal with it, like if I didn't feel like dealing with it, I would just put it up to give it away on like a Facebook group or something and have somebody who wants it like pay the shipping and then like just go buy new clay. Or do or have Randy condition it for me. Those would be the two options that I would take. But we got one of these things because Randy has had some really great ideas. It's one of these fiber optic lamps. And babe, we got to order batteries. Can you text that to me so I can remember? Oh, that's tricky of them. They put a screw on it so I can't just take the thing out. But that's the base. And then these are the optical fibers. Hey, Angie. Well, I always appreciate you popping in. I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to just pile this box on top of the other stuff right there. Fibers. Ooh, so crunchy. And so the idea is that, oh, and that just settles right on in like that. And then what Randy was thinking, if I understand him correctly, actually, I don't think I understand you correctly, honey. Like, I listen, I do, but my comprehension level is quite low most of the time. And it's not his fault. I am the problem. But, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But we take it like this, and then, like, there's a mushroom cap on top. And then what? Uh-huh. I lift it out. Dios. Oh, in the bottle? Where's the bottle? Okay. Because we've been hoarding. Oh, y'all, you know I love hoarding. I'll hoard any dang old thing, and I've finally gotten Randy on board with it too. And he's started hoarding these they're not water bottles because there's like sugar in it. It's sugary, sparkly water, but like delicious. Clearly Canadian. Oh, that's so fun to pet. And Randy takes citric acid and flour and makes a paste, and he rubs it on his bottles, and it takes the...
What?
You rub it on, don't you? Like you glove up and everything, and he rubs it in real good, and then he leaves it overnight, and it takes all the ink off that like they do for the logos and stuff, except for the peach ones. There's no luck on the peach ones. And so it would go almost. It's so close. Oh. Oh, yeah. This is so cool. Okay, so I know that this is how they work, but like, let's see. If I put it over that light and then they glow on the tips. Do you see how that's happening? Well, but if they look at the other one, just this is quality entertainment, and I will not hear otherwise. Yeah. But it won't quite fit, babe. But if this idea works, we might just be buying these fiber optic fibers in bulk and making our own like lighting elements and stuff. But we want to make fiber optic like mushrooms. So I'm not entirely certain how we're going to do that. We'll get it figured out though. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All of these? Oh, we zip tie them? Ah. Yeah, because it's just this part. So then how are we going to get the light in here? We set it on top of the light. So it'd be like this on the inside? And then all these little guys would be coming out the top? But do you see how they sit like that? How do we get them to be all nice and mushroomy again? We bend them? Okay, I see. What do we bend them with? Uh-huh. Okay. I think we'd make the clay and then drill into it and feed each of the things into the drilled holes in the clay. Okay. I think we're gonna need to get more of these lamps. Because I'd like... Yeah, can I tell you about my idea? Another way? Because we're going to do all the ways. So I'm thinking if we made... Let's make a little mushroom cap real quick. I just stole my husband's lunch. Wackadoo! He had the nerve to show me what he had made, and he didn't make me a plate. Michelle says that'll teach him. Hey, Gumnut says I had a lamp like that in the 80s. Cleesa says, cool idea. Randy has such good ideas. I can't wait to actually implement one in the way that it's because he'll tell me these ideas and then I twist them into my own demented visions. So I'd really like to make one that he's like, yes, that's exactly what I had pictured. And it's been 20 years and I don't think I have yet. But how some of the fun is in the trying. Breathing in vertical. That's a really good start, Kay. Hey, Dina says, hiya. Are you selling those jumpers you were modeling? Yes. Shameless self-promotion. Hey, Julia. How are you doing today? CPK says, I've been wanting to try working with polymer clay. I'm happy you are doing this. Right on. Well, if you have any questions, I will try my best to be helpful to you. And then also, you guys, I made this necklace today. Gumnut. No, wait, let me see. Dina Hayes had asked if we're selling YouTube. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take some of this glow-in-the-dark clay, and I'm going to make a little mushroomy shape. Hey, Sugar Booger, whenever you have a chance, could you get the oven preheating for me? Deena? Gotcha, my bad. But I was thinking, I have some pre-baked mushrooms. Here we go. And then, okay, we can use this. This will totally work. So I've got this little glow-in-the-dark clay mushroom cap that I was thinking. Because my biggest difficulty with polymer clay, you guys, is you can do so much with it. It's difficult for me to know where to start even. So, oh, there he goes. You can see what's left at that link. Yeah, I think we sold a couple, or at least one, and I kept one. So, yeah, I know. Oh, hey, Jean, how's it going? Says, haven't gotten to watch any of your lives for 6 months. Well, I hope you've been doing well. But I was thinking if we made a stem that's a straw, like a glow-in-the-dark straw. Heat the oven, 275, please. And then if I could get, do you see how this has all those little holes in it? If I could drill into here and have that be in the stem, but where each of these would kind of just get planted into the mushroom, that way the little holes would glow. And then from one strand like this, I wonder how many little fiber optic fibers it would take. But can you picture this as a whole little sculpture of when we could cut them and make them different lengths and stuff? Because let me show you what got me thinking about this in the first place. Field trip time. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Jean. Dun, 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 dun. Don't judge my dirty house. Oh, also, Randy spoiled me and got me a standing desk. So now my butt didn't hurt as much from sitting. So we're coming outside. Oh, and there's some daffodils. I don't know. Hole that a tree used to be in after a storm, and got that log for me. And then we had sculpted these in a live stream a year year ago, last year, I don't know, but they glow in the dark. Oh, does it not? Can they see it at least? Okay, they can see it. Okay, so I'm going to show them that. Ooh, and then okay, I'm going to go back inside now. Okay, come on, Z-Dog. We gotta get back to work. Okay, so now that we have discovered the technical limitations of our microphone, thank you, I'll plug the camera back in. But did you see? Randy climbed down into a hole that a tree used to be in to get that log for me. And because it was the most beautiful little like piece of, we had like a big storm. Was it very windy or did we have tornadoes? It was like a tornado came through in the park that we like to go to. We had a lot of big trees go down. Yeah, like 20% of the trees on like a 5-acre park. So it looks sparse there now. But he climbed down in there and he got that that log for me, and that was really sweet of him. And because like I just love rocks and logs. Basically, like if he brings me a pretty stick, that like makes my day. And then we made those mushrooms in a live stream. I never said I wasn't a penguin, honey. Hey, Itzy, how's it going? But those mushrooms glow in the dark, and so I finally like just drilled in there and used some hot glue and like crammed them in. But it made me think, is like, I wonder if we could feed lights up inside of them. So just like how those other ones were kind of coming out of the log, I was thinking if I could like sculpt a base that this goes up inside that looks like kind of like a log or a rock or something, and then we have just these cool like mushrooms coming up out of it, like about this size. But we'll get to that. I'll set that over here, babe. That is very cool, and I'm very excited to start making our own. Are you gonna play with it? You could probably sketch something up too. Oh, there's a screwdriver in the box that removes the screw for putting the batteries in it. Can I hand this to you? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna. Hey. Oh my god. Do you know like how kids throw water bottles on the internet? I just landed this box up on its end. Ah! Okay. Oh, Wackadoo says your live streams are now a medical prescription for me. You bring happiness, positive energy, and sunshine into my week. You are so loved, Bonnie. Oh, well, I appreciate the heck out of y'all coming and hanging out with me, because it gets kind of lonely here in the craft room, and there's only so much of torturing Randy I can get away with before he's like tapping out. Hey, Al, how are you doing? Canes, chains. Hey, little sprite. Okay. We need pics. Okay, I have to go get pictures of it. I'll be right back. Of my log. I have to show them our wood. Where I lost my phone. I'll just bring them the log. Come hither, log. Mr. Puddums! What was a handsome boy? Yeah. Okay, Z-Dog's outside. Oh, it's glowing so cool, though. Okay. I promise we're going to play with polymer clay today, you guys, but I just want to show you my wood. Really? We have 3 hours. I touched some already. So this is my log. And see how like the mushrooms are coming up out of it? We just drilled holes and stuck hot glue in them. And then the part of our dishwasher that broke off, well, we took it off, but it was broken because of the water that froze when the pipes froze. But I hot glued it, so now it's got a kickstand, kind of wobbly kickstand. And it lives on my porch now. But yeah, isn't that a nice log? Like there's a hole in it and everything. What a nice log. But yeah, so that just sits there like that now. So, but yeah, so that's my log. We just want to play, right, Ollie? Anika says, I had one of those fiber optic lights in my garden. It was powered by a solar panel. It did not survive the winter, though, buried under the snow. Oh, no. Yeah, we lost quite a few of our solar lights this winter, too, though most of it was because of me, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, center, focus. Put coffee in body. Play with clay. We're making mushrooms. Because sometimes I just don't know what else to do. The oven just dinged, so time to check the oven. I had this toy as a kid that was like, it wasn't a Barbie brand, but it was like Barbie sized. And it was like this little kitchenette, and there were buttons that you could press, and there was like a microwave and a microwave. And life's more than microwave, baby. Heat the butter up in the microwave. And one of the buttons that you would press would go, time to check the oven, time to check the oven. And I love that. And so now every time the ding, time to check the oven. Okay, so I'm using, this is glow in the dark clay because I want it to glow. Hey, Tashers, the Sisters of the Hook says time sure does fly when you're having fun. A subscriber for 15 months. Damn, how are you doing, Tashers? How'd your chainmail go yesterday? Hey, Shannon, how's it going? So we can see better. Put it on the desk. The thing is it, well, it's a log, so it sheds. So let me take the camera to my log. Whee! So yeah, there's the hole. What does it have in there? I don't see anything. You know how bad I would lose my right now if something just crawled up from out in there? Oh, that's very bright. And it color changes. Oh, that's neat. And then, so yeah, but I want to cover all the hot glue with like flocking powder. So yeah, all those little, that's neat. I just love petting these. I kind of wish it had like 5 times as much little fibers that come out, but that's why we're going to have to make our own. But yeah, I'm going to make kind of this style of mushroom today. So to begin, we do that by sculpting the cores. Oh heck, this is all right. Don't look at the screen, you guys. It's because I'm probably gonna make everybody real seasick screwing around with the shop update mode. Which, if y'all are subscribers to our newsletter or in our Happy Crafter Club, you'll be able to find a 20% off coupon, which helps, I'm gonna say. I'm okay. How's you? It went interestingly. Got thrown in the limelight. May have panicked a tad. Thanks for stopping by, though. I felt so bad for bailing, but it was like my chickens had to go to bed, and something ate one of my chickens. Not last night, but like in the past week. So if I don't go and put them to bed, I feel like I'm like letting them down. Because I thought that I was doing it good on time, but I don't know if we have a raccoon or a possum or what. But anyway, so I had to go put my chickens to bed right as you were like, somebody in your chat was like, main page, and I went and looked, and I was like, sure enough, there she is, weaving chainmail on the main page, and I was like, she'll do great, and like bailed. So Anika says, love the green one. Oh yeah, of the jumpers or just dress rooms. That's so cool. But this is yet another way. Again, we have how to make these canes in our most recent tutorial. That's our March craft along project too. We show you guys how to make this. And this is it after it's been baked. You can still see this is quite flexible. So cost clay isn't necessarily always my favorite for like making jewelry, just because sometimes people don't want their stuff to be flexible. But I love it for making sculptures because I don't have to worry about weird little bits and pieces breaking off. So I'm just going to make like a little, I know what I'm going to use. Hey, Randy. I'm too short to reach the thing that I need. It's on my shelf in there. It's that little, like, this shaped terrarium. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Oh, and Z's outside. You sure did. Yeah, I do about it. Is it dusty?
So dusty.
Y'all, not to brag, but my house is so dusty. Check this. Oh, you can't hardly even tell. Well, it's filthy, so we're gonna have to wash that. But I'm gonna make like a little mushroom terrarium today because I bet y'all can find all sorts of interesting stuff thrifting or just laying about the craft room that you could take and turn into something cool. So with Cos clay being a very, very soft clay, like especially their glow clay, very, very soft. I like to bake in multiple stages. Mr. Puddums? Yeah. He's a good boy though. Our neighbor, I don't know what they named him, but there's a cat that's living on our porch right now that is technically the neighbor's cat. And I call him Mr. Puddums, and he's such a tomcat, but he's a sweetie, and we feed him, and that makes me very happy to get to feed him. Okay, so we have, I'm gonna cut this one in half because I want some like wee babies. I have a big old farmhouse now, perpetually dusty. Right on. Jean says, did you make a video where you made the green and black polymer clay thingy? I did. That was this past Friday's tutorial. And we went over making this cane and like the whole style of Skinner blend. And so I kind of just wanted to build on that and do something in addition to it. And then we have tomorrow, actually, we have a real short TikTok coming out showing how to make this bad boy. Randy's just over there playing with his lamp. I love lamp.
I'll rub it as much as I want.
I don't know if they can hear you, but I'm not repeating that. Chris says, hey, I pay through the nose to get rid of the commercials. Right on, Chris. Us too. No, YouTube's miserable without premium because there's ads on like everything. Okay. So, and I'm not being real picky about the shape. So we just made our little like gumdrop button mushrooms. Oh yes, the gumdrop buttons. If you keep saying funny stuff, I'm going to put a mic on you, honey. He's just shaking his head. And I'm going to bake these for just 15 minutes. Because they're going to get baked through again. And I always make sure to pop them into a preheated oven. That way I'm not scorching the heck out of my clay.
I don't know if you did get a video of the log.
What log? Oh, of making it? No, I just had fun by my own self without recording or live streaming it because I had so many hangups about that one that it just kept not happening, and I had just stuck the mushrooms. The mushrooms we did make in a live stream, and I had just stuck those in the ground out under the redbud tree, and the chickens just decimated it. Is this cracked? No way. Oh, kinda. Like it's joined together well enough. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll build that up with UV resin or something, or make some. Oh, we'll make a little cap. Hey, Wendy. Never mind. Thank you, though. I may need more paper towels. He's just petting his lamp. I know, it's your lamp. You'll pet it as much as you want. But, you're my husband. I'll tease you as much as I want. Crap. So you didn't do the black and green one. I'm not entirely certain what you're talking about, Jean. Yes. We showed how to make this pendant in the tutorial. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. I probably need more paper towels. We get some Windex, not sponsored. I love cleaning stuff. Sometimes. Only whenever I do. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's nice. But the rest of the time it's like, I just want to get all the filth. And I'm so bummed out because I busted this one. I had knocked it over and it hit something, and it's such a thin glass, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that. And I don't want to just buy another because first off, I don't even know where I got that. Probably Joann's. They're closing our Joann's. Oh, yeah, all of them I think are, I don't know, Tracy was telling me about it. I was very distraught. So I'll need to do more research, but there's a very good chance that Joann's is closing. But I don't know. Google it for your own selves, folks. Hey, Bodega, how's it going? So that is nice and clean. Make clean. Yeah, it didn't really ring well. That's all right. So that's clean. Excellent. I'm going to be using these guys here to cut out little mushroom cap covers. So let's see. They're closing 500 of 800 stores. Oh my gosh, Chris. Closing yours as well, Michelle. Oh my goodness. I don't understand. Oh, I see. I live in South Texas, and I had posted a video of the windstorm we had last Tuesday, and one of our friends said I lived in Dune. Now with how windy it was. Oh, but yes, dusty all the time. Oh my god. I saw a bunch of fellow yarnies on social media running to a Joann's. They seem to think the same thing. Now, I can't say for sure, so there's that. Oh no. Well, what a time to be alive. Ooh, Holly says we are redoing the laundry room floor in this old house, finding some exciting things, old wine bottles and marbles, pottery shards. Nice. Thank you, honey. So for what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm just going to be kind of lining it up and then cutting out. Oh, I need to do better on the next one. I'm going to have to put my head in the way of the camera so that I can see. There we go. So I just want it nice and centered up. There we go. And then I'm going to be centered up on this one because this one doesn't have any glow in the dark. But I'm going to show you guys, if you are familiar with how to make a Skinner blend. Maybe we can use, do I have a smaller one? I do is. And now we have those little slices. What's up, baby? Oh, really? Well, if you put it on the list, because we're almost out of dog food, so we'll need to go to Sam's Club soon. He'll remember, he says. All right. So now I'm just going to take whatever was left, and I'm going to give it some nice squishy smushes, because $5, show ear. Randy's like, ooh, $5.
Oh, I said, well, show $5.
A bunch. Okay, and then we're gonna, let me see if I can get this positioned to where, no, I do have like raging dandruff, so not self-conscious at all. Let's see, and I don't want to get any air bubbles trapped in this. But I'm just gonna, oh, I'm not in frame. We're kinda, oop, okay, you might be able to see both. There we go, zoomed out a little bit. Because sometimes we can get some really cool marbling effects. And I'm just waiting for, okay, so those little mushroom, I just realized we've got these ones already baked. I can just cover their caps. All right, feeding that through. And so let's see, we can do, because what's nice about this, the stems are Cost Clay too. So we can trim the stems down if they're a little too long. I think that one's a pretty nice one. And then we can do a couple, and I used an extruder with the glow in the dark clay to make the little stems. And so like here you can see I even saved the little bits of stem that I cut off to trim them down so that, I don't know, it's just more stem. That's like 2 double doubles. $5 is $5. It is. That's true. Okay. So we can take, do I want to join them together? I want to put the caps on them first. So the way that I would do this is we have our already baked mushroom, and I'm just going to take this and kind of spread. What's up, honey? Here, I'll be right back, y'all. There we go. Ooh, some E6000. That might be cool. I don't have any of that, but I'm probably just going to use polymer clay to join the ends together. But I like having the core of the mushroom already be formed. That way I can just come in here like how we are and stretch it around over onto the cap. And this way it kind of distorts the pattern a little bit, but it's pretty neat, I think. And you can totally leave it like this, or you can join me in making it kind of freaky deaky, which is my favorite. But yeah, so now we've got a little colored mushroom cap, like a little pop of color. And I like to come in here with, we can use a ball stylus or something. I'm going to move these things, that way I can be really zoomed in. My friend Yvette would hate this. But I'm just going to come in, and to get the same effect that we did on those other mushrooms, I love having, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. So I'm going to need a different size. I prefer a really small ball stylus. And this Cost Clay, you can see how flexible it is after baking. And that's my favorite uses for it. Because if I were making a piece of jewelry, people might be like, what is this? But for sculptures, it's really nice because now I don't have to worry about my mushrooms breaking. And I do love using these smaller ball stylus because we can, with a small ball stylus, we can make a nice big hole. Oops. Or there we go. I'm going to use my sheet of clay as like scrap. Or we can come in and just go like that. There we go. You okay? What was that? Oh. Nothing that detracts from the hangout session. Oh, okay. She just keeps glitching every time she moves and her camera has to refocus quickly. We can't keep up with Vaughn. Oh no! Is that just on YouTube or Al says, do you know a way to polish stainless in a tumbler? Like stainless steel jump rings, like chainmail? I use stainless steel shot and sunshine burnishing compound in our rotary tumbler, and I think that does the trick. It deburrs it certainly, but I'd give it a Google as well. I haven't tumbled chainmail in ages. We've been using so much anodized aluminum, and that doesn't take too well to be tumbled because it just removes the anodizing. Hey, we do's it. How are you doing, Laura? How's the fam? Bodega says, I think it's just YouTube being a butt. They really seem to do that, don't they? And so with this being like a super soft clay too, I don't know, it kind of distorts really interestingly. I kind of don't like making the real big ones because it gave it like a puffy outy weirdness, but so I'm just trying to remove the clay from the cap of the mushroom that's on the inside. What do you think of this, honey? Is it good and creepy? No, Randy? Oh, really? What would I have to do to make it creepy? Because I kind of like creepy, fey, alien stuff, like right now. And so I want these to look like little mushrooms that might like pop up in a crop circle or something. And so I'm just coming through. You can use whatever kind of clay that you like, Jean. I like to use glow in the dark for the inside because everything's just cooler when it glows in the dark. But also, hey Randy, do you have that little light? Thank you, baby. Ooh! I'm gonna have to get that out of the oven. But whenever this glows, on these other mushrooms that are behind me on the log, I did the glow in the dark clay on the outside. With this one, I wanted these little inside sections to glow. And so I think that's going to be really cool, but we're going to have to see. But you can see how well the stem glows. And so my hope is that the cap will glow as well. So I only use glow in the dark because I want it to glow. So if you don't care if your piece glows or not, then don't worry about it. But like this one has some glow in the dark as well as the Deco Cosplay Deco green. And it is so cool. I love it. And that's what we used to make these guys. And all those colors, all the colors that I'm working with here, right here, come in March's kit. So I'm really excited about that. Ooh, Karen, hey Karen, says, how about looks like it will release spores that take over your brain and make you do the mushrooms will? Yes. So yeah, but I mean, just something to spark the fantasy, whether it's, or the imagination, whether it's, you know, something horrifying or just like whimsical. And it totally makes sense why this would be in a jar. If it's like, ooh, those spores are gonna get you. Oh, we could totally. Now this is how. I think was it last week's live stream? This was that clay that was super goopy, like super duper goopy. It baked down wonderfully. I figured best I can guess is it was super goopy like that because I mixed it with Sculpey 3 polymer clay and at a 50-50 mix, and Cost Clay on their website really recommends that you do like a 25-75. Okay, so we have some of these guys. And so I'm just going to set this there like that. I'm going to set these. Now these were made with not clay that came in the kit. It was just stuff that I had in stock. All this stuff needs baked. But yeah, I was also kind of thinking, I've been making these like glow-in-the-dark calla lilies, and I thought these would look really cool with like the fiber optic. Like if I made a whole bouquet of these little glowy fay flowers and used UV resin to set them onto the tips of the I thought that'd be neat. So that might be something that we work on today. There's just so many options. Okay. So from here, we can take, I can use one of these Kano clay cutters. We need to get some of the tables and stuff broken down. What's up, honey? That'd be really cool. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, getting to have a family reunion. That's great, Jean. Okay, so these are those clay cutters that have like a little plunger. I'm going to try to find one that fits a little better the size of what we're doing. I guess let's go with this one. Well, that's interesting. That came out really nice. Normally I can't get a nice even perimeter like that. Hey, Monica, how's it going? Hey, Hannah. Oh, maybe it's time to just listen to Vaughn like it's a podcast. No, I'm so... Oh, just listen. Okay, I'm so sorry if I miss y'all's comments and stuff, but no, if it's glitching on you, I'm so sorry. Randy says it's pretty smooth over on Kick, but that just seems to be how it's going lately. Which that's all right. I feel really lucky that we have Kick as an option and that everybody's so supportive over there. So getting that shaped around, and then we can come in. I'm going to try a larger one on this one. I'm going to try to go back to that just because this way fewer holes, but also more glow clay showing, hopefully. I don't want to like break the head off of my mushrooms, but I guess we'll get to test and see the durability of these things. Now, we had somebody asking in the premiere of Friday's chat, and I'm very bad with names, so if it's you, please let me know. But they were asking about making like bugle style beads out of polymer clay. And I went to experiment with that a little bit because I would actually be using the strategy that I thought we'd use to make the bugle beads to make the stems for these mushrooms if we're going to have fiber optics going inside of them. So I'm going to go back to a smaller stylus. It has delaminated from the mushroom head. So, but I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool in and of itself, because then we can almost make it look like kind of like a morel by having it be like hollow. So long as it stays joined around the edge, then we can totally lift this up off of Ooh, make the holes droopy like it's melting. Okay. But yeah, so you can't really see. You can maybe see how there's a little bit of light going through there. That's really cool, and I like that a lot. So we're going to set that down. How would we make them droopy? I'm going to set that on there. And now I'm going to pick a smaller clay putter. Ooh, resin pouring is always so much fun. How are you doing today, Georgia? Very fun. I'm still really enjoying the stream, even with the rare little stream. Oops, right on. Mona says, wow, I'm so excited to be here. Right on. Well, what are you up to today, Mona? We could totally smush some little seed beads into this too. That would be really cool. I may have to do that next. Oof, the only thing with clay is it's challenging to my hands in different ways than what wire wrapping is. And I just spent about an hour wire wrapping earlier today, and it was really fun. And I got like a whole video shot for it and everything. I don't think I'm going to be bothering with like the real short TikTok thing. I'm just going to post it and see how that goes. Oh, but yeah, so dog fur is always free. But I like that even just like that, you know? Let's make some little, how would we do a droopy? It's melting. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just gonna, and I'm just rubbing the surface like of the baked clay underneath to kind of like scrape and scratch this newly added clay off of it. And then once we've done that, we can kind of come through and lift them just a little, just to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. But I do want to keep it tight around the edge because I don't want it, I want it to bond when it bakes. I don't want it to just like come off. Oh, a little ladybug. Creepy ladybug. Ooh, maybe as the mushrooms mature, they start drooping, so the smaller ones have holes and larger ones are melting. That's really neat. I've only got one small one left to do, but I'm totally going to be using that for future mushrooms because we're going to be doing, I think I want to cover this mushroom in these canes, because why not? And I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to cut into that, and I'm going to boop. I love that plunger. Otherwise, it's so hard to get the clay out of these without distorting them. An Egyptian scarab beetle? That's cool, wackadoo. Camille says, resin pouring is fun, but so messy. As long as dust, bugs, and cat fur land in it before it dries, the finish is amazing. Yeah. That's what we kept running into whenever we were doing resin pours, is it's like the success rate was just very low for getting them to actually turn out nice and perfect and pristine. So So just pushing that around on the cap. What's up, baby? Ooh, okay. I think I get what you're saying, Allison. Nice. It's like my mushrooms droop as I get older too. Am I going to cover the hardened shell with the clay that I did last week? I'm going to cover this mushroom that we did last week with this clay, if that's what you're asking. So I think yes. But then we also just had a batch come out of the oven of the little mushrooms that don't have stems. So I'm going to go pop this into the oven for 30 minutes. And I'm going to see if these flowers scorch, but that's how they're coming along. Oh, sea dog, pardon me, baby. Thank you for pulling those out of the oven for me, Randy. Oh, and that's cooled enough that I can carry it. Excellent. Oh, my pants. My pants are stuck. Okay, I got unstuck. There we go. So now we've got all of our little like gumdrop mushrooms. And you know, we might actually, I'm not going to unstick them from the tile. I'm going to try to decorate them on the tile because I kind of want to come through. We can reduce this cane down just a smidge. Of like kind of like a teardrop. It's a nice like longer shape. Where is my craft knife? Found it. And now I'm just going to cut some like thin slices. They're like a millimeter or two thick. They're not super thin. But they're nice like little petal bits. And I'm not minding at all, since they're quite soft, how they're distorting as I cut them. In fact, I'm going to use that kind of stylistically. But I'm always needing mushrooms for my little fairy gardens and stuff. And I've decided I'm going to turn my front porch into a whole fairy garden. So I've got a lot of fairy houses to make, y'all. Step one, I think, is going to be drilling holes in the gourds for the bird houses. Okay. So now I'm going to start with this one just because it's the farthest away from me. And then I'll kind of work my way around, and then I'll work on the ones that are closer. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to smush. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really have a plan, but I'm going anyways. And then smush. And I'm just letting a little bit hang off the edges. And these are made with glow in the dark in the center. I'm going to take that and we're going to go like smush. Because I kind of want them to look like shaggy mushrooms. Okay, so we're just picking up a piece. And I'm just laying shingles, like they're shaggy mushroom shingles. Ooh, black wire turned out beautifully with a teal and cathedral bead. All right, on Kay. I did the copper bead cap and lantern beads. I made them in copper and cobalt beads with copper jump rings connecting them. Oh, that sounds nice. Ooh, Georgia Homestead says, today I poured snack trays with homemade gold leaf stickers in them. Oh, nice. Mason jars hanging on with lights on front porch for the fairies. Oh, Allison, it's beautiful. So I'm gonna squish that on down. Coming in here. Oops. But yeah, 15 minutes of baking totally got these firm enough that now I can use them as a nice rigid structure to sculpt more layers on top of. So there you can kind of see. It's almost like a little flower shroom or something. And so on this next layer, I'm going to use the thinner ends towards the center. That way it gives us a nice taper out. Very nice. But yeah, you can see it's kind of just like a weird little shape. That's okay. We don't gotta be perfect. There's a bird just hollering his head off outside. Okay, and now from here, I'm just gonna pinch and smush. And I'm gonna try to make sure that my path is clear so I can take this and just smush and twist with my fingers. Trying to completely erase that line, but also trying to add like a nice little twist to the color blend pattern. Isn't that a weird little fairy shroom? I love it. What do you think, honey? What'd you do if you saw an army of those just going like this towards you? Leave, he says. Mario Day. Oh, I love that. Is today Mario Day? Nice. Oh, I love that, Allison. Shaggy shroom shingles. Are your hamsters good and distracted, Camille? I do hope. Because I'm going to do, if I don't have enough for all of these, because I only have this bit of cane, I have some of these older canes that have just been hanging out with some acorn caps for a while, it seems. But some nice like round ones, and then this one's just like that. So we might be able to use those too. 10th of March. Oh, I love that. It's like Pi Day. Oh, Mario Day and Pi Day are so close to each other. Now also there's no rules saying I have to do every single one exactly the same. So this one I'm going to do a little different. I'm just going to build the little scales. Like slices. And then we have our craft knife. And then we're going to do a little slice, and a little bit of slice. The canes are so much easier to work with when they have been sitting and resting for like, it's been a couple of days, at least. but they firm up nicely, but they're so warm. They heat up so nicely from my hand heat and from being squished, and that's when they distort. But I bet we could pop them in the freezer too, and that'd be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to continue just layering little scales around. Hey Jim, how's it going? I keep meaning to send you. I think Laura and I talked about it a smidge. I think I talked to you about it a smidge, Jim. I've got one of my dad's like yearbooks from when he was in the Navy, and I know so little about any of it. I don't even know where to begin for like researching. But I'm gonna try to find that and send it to y'all in the next like week if you're interested. And even in just seeing it, just to, oh, this is a thing, like. We think of y'all often, and I remember fondly getting to hang out with y'all at the camp along, which I'm pretty sure we have not booked our site yet, but I'm pretty sure that this year we're having it at Echo Bluff State Park. It's still not certain. Okay. So never mind. It's still not certain where we're having this year's camp along. I really need to get that figured out, but it's just been one thing after another. Ooh. So now this one, I'm going to take my ball stylus, and right in the center, I'm going to go like bloop. Bloop. Because I want to make it look like it's covered in eyes. This would be perfect for doing that idea with the seed bead, I think. Oh, the ship name and date. Okay. I don't even know that off the top of my head. Yep. Creepy little mushrooms. I love it though. I really like that one. Okay. So I think I want to make this one match those, and it'll be a wizard's cap mushroom if I had to make up names for them. About who you're with, not about where you're at. That's true. But I do need to make sure that where we're at has like toilets and cabins and flat ground to camp on. So that is a good point. So yeah, we're just building up our little scales. And I'm going to kind of keep them in this like twisting pattern that the clay had twisted into. That's a good question. You said, shouldn't you build from the bottom up? And I don't know, I'm doing it from this end this time, so. Rules are for breaking, or for testing at least, testing the limits of. And I think I'm doing it from this direction just because it's very easy to hold on to. I'm just smushing that on and kind of placing them and smushing that on and then placing them, and then we can kind of smush it. I love using polymer clay as opposed to just painting something, because I can, with the polymer clay, I can like smush it and push it a little and sculpt the color on, as opposed to like painting and sticking my hand in it and now it's like drug every which way. Ooh, I'm gonna have to be kind of, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. Ooh, we'll see. So I'm gonna cut quite thin and then place it, and then we can kind of just smush it together. Do what, baby? Ooh, Wackadoo says, Oh, Michelle says, oh, did someone ask about camping? Did I miss? No, I was just thinking about it. Wackadoo says, we joined our local gem club and have started going on field trips and making new friends. Ooh, we have a trip to Wyoming planned where we will be looking for fish fossils. So exciting. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if they've got something like that around. I'd join the heck out of something like that, actually. Hmm. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I forgot to set a timer. Let's give it 20 more minutes. Did you set a 20-minute timer for me, baby? Thank you. Really testing the limits of what the polymer clay will tolerate as far as being overbaked goes. Thank you, love. Ooh, Georgia says, couldn't Vaughn, after making that stuff, couldn't she paint a layer of resin on this stuff? Maybe. I'm not very good at resining stuff. Like, I'm never very pleased with my results. Like, I always leave, like, dog hair and fingerprints and stuff in it. But I do like using UV resin is probably one of my favorites. For every resin, there's an application. So this could look pretty cool with some UV resin over it, but I kind of like the three-dimensional and the matte finish. Oh yeah, resin sticks pretty well to polymer clay, especially when it's got all my fingerprints in it. So lots of texture to hold on to. Green River Campground in Western Kentucky is an awesome campsite. Right on, Allison. We'll have to check that out. We plan on doing a camp along every single year for the rest of ever if we can. We want to have it in a different state every year if we can. And just with all the things that we've got going on in our personal life right now, we thought we'd stick close to home again this year. Just to be one less thing to worry about. But it's just tricky. It's as soon as I think I've got one thing figured out, another thing to worry about comes up onto our plate. But we'll get through. Oh, the UV kind. Right on. What do you think of this, babe? Oh, yeah? I'm going to do little eyeballs in the middles of the glows. This is the fun thing about it, is this isn't like, I'm not trying to make the one perfect piece that's exactly like, I'm just messing around. I'm just using up supplies, really. But they're here on the table. It's time to use them. So, slicing as thin as I can, so that I can cover our whole mushroom if we're able. But I don't want to cut so thin that I waste a bit by not cutting it correctly. So there we are. Bringing that around. But yeah, we can totally press and drag and smush and fill in some gaps. Alright, well it looks like this is going to be just as far as I can get it. So I'm going to be very deliberate with my last couple of placements. So it looks like we could use one right here. And we could use one right there. Whoop. Oh my goodness, just stick to the mushroom. Please. There we go. Okay. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Hey Dark Cat, how are you doing today? So I'm gonna try, I was gonna try dragging these down to the edge, but I think what I'd rather do instead is I'm looking for more of this dark green, or the deco green. I wonder, do I have any in my own personal collection, or am I gonna have to cut into what we're sending out in the kits? What's up, Shantix? Chatix. Gotcha. So putting that away, moving that over. Oh, we've got some bright green. We might be able to, well, it's not the same green at all. Let me see if I can drag it to the edge. So trying without doing too much distorting, I'm going to see if I can get this clay to come down to the edge. And you know what? I actually really kind of like that distortion, so I'm just going to let it happen. Melty, yeah. And I just want to get our top veneer down to the edge of our polymer clay. So this will be like how you said, where the older ones are kind of melting maybe. Ooh, and then we can pet our mushroom. So what are y'all doing for fun in the craft room today? What up, baby? A Barbie sorting hat. I love that. But yeah, still trying to keep everything nice and even, trying to get it moved on down to the edge. You know what? I think that's good enough. And now from here, I'm going to set it on our work surface. I was initially going to try to only do a little, dot in the center of each of the glow in the dark, but I don't know if that's, I don't think I'm going to stick to that. Instead, I'm just going to make some little like spirals, like a whoop down, and then we'll come up here, do our little bit. And then just spiral our little gooby spots around. I just love those. Oh, that makes me happy. Then a small one. And then again, making our little spiraling on down. There we go. Now, doing our little dot. I'm going to relax my hands in my neck and my shoulders because I don't need to be. I just catch myself death gripping my ball stylus. Broke some of my moonstones, so I was putting them in little baggies to protect them each. Oh no! Oh, for a Barbie doll. Oh, wackadoo. Spent most of the last 9 hours in the kitchen. So gonna have an early night, I think. Ooh, what have you been working on? Itzy says, I'm designing scrapbooking papers. All right on. Hey, Benjamin, how are you doing? It's been ages. And so just continuing on down. And I like the way that each spot kind of distorts the others around it. And if you're ever not sure about something, overly committing to it can really make or break the piece. So I'm overly committing to doing these little patterns, and I actually really like it where the clay on the surface is very thin, because that way it doesn't take very much effort at all to like scrape through it, and it gives us a really nice little pucker texture around the edge of what we've got going on. I'm going to try to start filling in up top. Because I don't want to mess up what I've already done by where I'm holding it, if that makes sense. And around this way. So I'm kind of just interested in building up an arsenal, like a whole stockpile of mushroom caps. So that way, in future weeks, we can do live streams where I'm making fairy gardens, and that way I'll have a bunch of mushrooms already made in a variety of color schemes that I can just grab from and start slapping onto some fairy houses. And now we're filling in our last little bit here. Okay. Ooh, I like that a bunch. Let's see how it looks under the black light. That's cool. That's really cool. I hope this looks trippy AF in the black light. All right, so we're gonna set that there. And now we can do, I kind of want to try this clay on the mushrooms. Oh, and it split. That's okay. We can still stretch it out nicely. I still don't know why I think Cheshire Cat with this like teal and purple. Does anybody else get that? And so yeah, I'm just gonna push and blend it down to the edge. And now we get to poke little holes in it. Ooh, I gotta get my hot glue gun heating up. Looking for a place to plug this in. Nope, my light. Well, shoot. Hey, Randy, do we have a place that we could plug this in? Can you plug it in over the printer? Or do we have another extension cord or something? Heck. I just found a hole. Or a plug. Thank you, honey. Woo! Huzzah! There we go. Excellent. Our house is not on the up and up with the electrical. So, Wackadoo says, "You're keeping me distracted before I take my kitty to the vet." Oh, right on. I'm always happy to provide a distraction, hopefully a constructive one, but if not, a distraction's a distraction. Right on, Benjamin. Still looking for another farm to buy. I hope you are well. Ooh, right on. In addition to what you have, or in replacement of? Yeah, we put looking for land and stuff on a mega back burner. Our income's down so much. We're lucky to get by. But it's given us the time to get to indulge in projects like this. So I'm working on my mindset and trying my best to make the most out of having free time. Trying to make the most out of actually getting to enjoy my free time and not just spending it being stressed. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so just kind of smushing in. Michelle says, so cool. Ooh, what's your favorite part, Michelle? I love your taste and stuff. I want to hear like your 500-word essay on why you like it. But yeah, I found myself thinking, it's like, how many more times in my life am I actually going to have the time and the clay on hand to turn my whole front porch into a fairy garden? And I was thinking about the fairy garden furniture and houses that you had made, Michelle, that were so cute. And so I was like, well, I've just got to. Hey, Mama Kay, how's it going? Oh my gosh, severe health issues. I hope you're feeling better. And so I'm just taking it and smushing the clay. And I'm just picturing these like planted in amongst some like really vibrant petunias. That way the purple doesn't look so like, it makes it look like a little bit more like it belongs when I surround these with plants that mirror the color scheme. I don't know what I would do with these ones. Oh, maybe some like lamb's ears and borage would be really pretty, like some silvery green, some wormswort or wormwood. Oh, I put that on quite thick. We'll get to see how that does. When the clay is very thick, I have to press through quite a bit to get it to make the nice form. I'm going to set this very gently off to the side so it's out my way. And so I'm kind of just like, it's almost like scratch art. I'm just trying to scratch down to the baked core. This is quite, like I could almost lift it off of the, I'm going to try to keep it to where it is connected. Oh, but they're just like little gooby brains. What's up, babe? Ooh, Leaf says, oh, okay, let me go back a bit. Michelle says, 500 words? Not yet. Too tired today. No, I got you. It's when Randy's like, I'll be like, oh, how does it always start? I'll be like, do you like, huh? What? Is it fine? well, do you like it? And he says it's fine. And I'm like, well, what do you like about it? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, it'll usually be, I'll be like, do you like me? And he'll be like, yes. And I'm like, can you write a 500-word essay about why you like me? Gotcha. But so it always makes Randy laugh when I'm like, write a 500-word essay. And the fairy gardens only shrink down and go play, right? It's a playground for our imaginations. And quite frankly, I love sitting on the front porch right now and like petting Mr. Puddums because he can't come inside. He's not my cat. He's the neighbor's cat. But I love him and he's a sweetie. But I want to sit on the front porch and just like pet him while I drink my coffee and let my mind play in the playground of the fairy garden. So Leaf says, hey Leaf, when I was in high school, I loved making incense burners in all different shapes and neat patterns with canes. With like polymer clay, you can make incense burners. That's cool. Okay, we're going to slice another slicey slice. Is that the oven? Ooh, thank you, baby. So there's one, there's two, quite thin. And then here we go, third one. Swamp. Nice. Love that. Do, 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 do. Herpin, derpin, doodle boop doo. Herpin, derpin, boopin doo. Ooh, Amanda says chopping vegetables for chickens and for cooking breakfast quiches, also washing up multi-level loads of dishes. Right on. Just the endless chores, it seems. I'm out of commission because of a cold. Oh, bodega, that's rough. Y'all are such hard workers. Doing a lot of wire wrapping. Cabochons are made with either resin or polymer clay. Right on. Oh, hey Jim, how's it going? He says, hi all, I'm back, been busy a while, missed these videos. Well, it's good to have you back. We are making today, I'm making a whole bunch of just different like mushroom caps, and Randy just pulled from the oven another, like the batch of the ones that have their stems attached. But I want to make my front porch into a fairy garden this year. And so I'm gonna need a whole mess of mushrooms so we can like just hot glue stuff together and like stick it on. And I'm using not these ones, but these colors over here. I'm using some of the canes that we made in our Friday tutorial from this past Friday, where in our March craft along kits, I sent out 5 different colors of clay and I show how to make Skinner blends, and I actually showed how to make this pendant in the Friday video, which I have to say, I feel like I've significantly regressed in what I'm able to do as an artist with clay and with leather and with honestly a lot of things after my hand injury. But that's okay. Like, I don't feel like I'm not in a competition. Even with my previous self, I need to just be where I'm at. And so I'm just letting myself play and make childish little mushroom caps. Like, it doesn't have to look amazing or perfect or anything. I just want to have fun. And with the power of glow in the dark, we certainly are having fun. I think I am, at least. I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. You clicked on my, oh, I forgot. Oh my God, babe. Randy, why is it glowing? I mean, I love it, but like, I didn't know it was going to do that. Yeah, but like, I used the the glow in the dark that we mixed into the peacock pearl that I didn't think was going to glow. It glows. Oh, it didn't really help. That makes me very happy. So please pardon me while I make weird noises in your ear. Sure, they just held the stick. Oh, okay. Oh, that's neat. That's a really nice idea, Leaf. Were they so stick? So like stick incense, not cones? Ah, well, thank you, Benjamin. I'm gonna squish. I'm gonna smush. Oh, that makes me so happy. Cause yeah, okay. It was a week ago today that we made, because I know, I cannot believe, what was the proportion we did, you guys? I can't remember. But I had mixed an amount of this Cos clay, the glow-in-the-dark Cos clay, into Sculpey Primo Peacock Pearl. I did not expect it to glow that well. That is so cool. Okay. Oh, that's neat. Did they like catch the ashes too, or is it just, did it just hold on to the stick part? Like, I'm trying to visualize because I wanna make some. I love setting stuff on fire. I'm not gonna lie. A smush, 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 smush. Oh, thank you for the follow. Happy Monday to you too. Okay, so now we're gonna scribble some more little. My favorite thing is just doing the same thing over and over again, you guys. I can't help myself. Smush, 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 herpin derp doo, derpin doo. Night, Amanda. Well done on your full day in the kitchen too. Like, that's a lot of work. Like, I know when we do like canning days and stuff, and we're processing from like when we get groceries in bulk and we're processing it all, that's not easy. So you earned a good night's sleep. I hope you sleep real well. Though we did recently a cost analysis between canning our own chicken and just buying it pre-canned in metal tins from Sam's Club, and it's cheaper to just buy the cans from Sam's Club. So unless I get like a really good deal or something, I don't think I'm going to be bothering with canning my own chicken for a while. But that's one less thing. I'll be able to find something to do to fill that time. We had a non-financial homestead victory the other day, you guys, like a month ago. But the other day, and that was my niece who had been living with us. And for just to back up a little bit more, this is my eldest niece, not our niece Maddie, who used to come and visit in the summer. She's graduating this May, and so that last summer was our last summer. But our niece who had been living with us for a year, has moved out into her own apartment, and we are very proud of her. And I think she's doing really good. She's very independent, so I hope she's doing well. But she did come over to pick up some of her mail, and she was like, "Can I have some eggs?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was able to give her like a whole Walmart sack of eggs because I don't have any egg cartons. But and so we had produced enough eggs here on our little quarter-acre homestead that I was able to give some to my niece, and that made me really, really happy. But then I had to go buy eggs, and it was like $9, and I was like, huh, no wonder she was asking for eggs, but that's all right. But it was really nice to be able to share that abundance with her, and it was fun too because they were eggs from the chicks that she had helped pick out and had helped to take care of a little bit while she was staying with us whenever she house set. So I was like, your return on your investment, madame. Some did and some didn't. Like, some mushy and moons just held the stick, and I put the mushy in a plant and the moon on a plate. Oh. Some just like the regular tray type. I wish I had pics, but that was before even digital cameras. Wow. No. All of my pictures from like high school and stuff were on those, you like crank it with your thumb disposable cameras. So time gets us all. Oh, hey, Mark. Says this mushroom caps the holes would be adorable cone incense lids. I'm really loving that idea. How do we make like a fat little mushroom? Because I feel like this style of terrarium that's like open here and has the little thing, I bet pardon me. I bet if we did, like, if we used this as the core and had this be like the chimney, and did like a little fairy door that we could open and put the incense in, but there'd be like a window cut out to allow airflow. I wonder if this would allow enough airflow to be able to be an incense burner. Because we might have to make this into an incense burner. Mushroom incense burners. Here, just a sec, y'all. I'm going to turn the mic off and cough a bit. I'm back. Ever since this morning, and I breathed my coffee in, I've just been coughing all day. Don't you have chickens anymore? I do, but well, Poppy is 9 years old, 7 or 9 years. She's ancient in chicken years as far as like laying goes, as far as I'm aware. And then Nutmeg is almost as old as she is. And then, but the other 5 still lay, but Bay doesn't lay all the time. Like Poppy, I haven't gotten an egg from Poppy in at least a year, but she's queen of the coop. She provides stability and culture to all of my other chickens. And then there's Poppy, there's Nutmeg, who's like, she's not missing an eye, but she's got a full-on cataracts in one of her eyes. So I feel like she'll just be like chickening around, and then she'll like look at me with her all-seeing eye, and I'll be like, Odin, no. Like, and then there's Bay, who's just sassy, and she still lays, I think, but not every day. Her and Nutmeg don't lay every day. But then Shathid got eaten by something that wasn't me. Something got her. And I'm very upset and like distraught, but not gonna focus on that. We still have Ebenezer, or Ebby, and Bob, and Butter and Biscuit are doing pretty good, laying pretty consistently every day. But we eat 5 eggs every day that we eat eggs. Like, I have 3 and Randy has 2. So it's like, that's our egg budget. And so like, we're having to, like, this morning we had tuna for breakfast so that we could take a day to like accumulate some eggs. But no, I will keep chickens for the rest of my life if I can help it. I love my little dino girls. I have a chicken in prison. She has a cold. Oh no! Oh, your poor wickle bird. But no, they're my sweeties. I go and I hang out with them. I've got like a jank ass camping chair out back in my chicken coop that I knock the dirt off of every morning, and I sit out there. And typically Ebby and Butters, they're my cuddliest girls. They'll hop up in my lap and try to eat my eyeballs, and I'll be like, no, stop it. And so we've got our whole thing that we do. And then Boris, a very handsome tomcat, comes through and yells at me through the fence. But I actually got him to come up and let me pet him today, and his ear is doing a whole lot better. And then Mr. Pudd'em stops by, but he's like my front yard stray cat, and Boris is my backyard stray cat, because otherwise they'll get into fights with each other. Both of them pine after Ember, and she's just can't be bothered to leave her heated blanket. So, I didn't squish this one down to the edge enough, so we're gonna have to get kind of melty with it. Okay. Randy and I made a cake, and then we ate the entire thing in like 2 days. But I have to tell y'all about this cake, okay? So don't judge us too hard. Oh, we lost the YouTube channel? Okay. Oh, Wackadoo says, did anyone ever make it to level 10 in the chat? Not yet. Well, they had. Michelle had, and then we reset it in like February. So Michelle says, use the broken one and make that into an incense burner and just make a stand to put it on. Okay. I still need my eyeballs. Yeah, no, I have to be very firm with my girls. After Nutmeg bit my tooth, because I guess one of my teeth is shinier than the other. I was like, if that had been any looser, she'd have taken my tooth. I need that. Like, but I can still see. Okay, Itzy says we're good. I'm gonna go like this, but we made a pineapple upside down cake, but the only thing that was the same as a regular pineapple upside down cake was that the pineapple in the upside down part, because Randy doesn't really care for maraschino cherries, and nor do I, so we just don't have them like in stock, but we always keep frozen blueberries. So I did the butter and brown sugar, and we haven't eaten like real sugar in quite a while. So to do like a whole cup of real brown sugar mixed into this melted butter in the bottom of the 9x13 pan, and then we put the pineapple in it, and then we put the blueberries, like defrosted from frozen blueberries, and then we put orange cake from a box, like Duncan Hines or like whatever King Cash Saver brand is, orange cake, but instead of the water, we used the pineapple juice, just like in the pineapple upside down cake. And then we like mixed it, and then we put it on top of there, and then we baked it, and then we baked it some more because it wasn't done yet. But then we took it out of the oven, and I made like I just like would put like a smear of cream cheese with it, and we just ate out of that cake, y'all. Like, it was so good. But it was a celebratory cake because I have finished my first round, or my first. I keep wandering out of it. Thank you, baby. I finished my first course of belly dance classes, and we had been driving the next city over, so it was quite an excursion. But it was really cool to like finish the course, and we have 1 week left in our baby step program that I'm really excited about. So that's fun. So we made a celebratory cake and then wrecked it. Like, we went on an absolute cake bender. Sugar is my drug of choice. 10 out of 10. But we're back to behaving today. But I'm thinking about that cake. That was really good. I think we're going to make it for like an Easter thing. That way we can take it and share it with friends. Because Randy and I have no business with a 9x13 sized cake. Like, you just can't get it ate up while it's still good. Anika says, did you save some for me? No. And it got to where yesterday, Randy's like, I could try. Yesterday we were standing just waiting for dinner to cook, and that cake was there in the pan, and Randy and I looked at each other and we were like, we can eat dessert before dinner. And we didn't even get plates. I just like scooped it with my hand and had the block of cream cheese and was like, ow, and then ow. So we party like wild animals. And by what I mean specifically by that is like starving raccoons who just found like a really nice trash can full of food. That is how Randy and I party. Trash can full of cake. Just oh, first class of belly dance classes. And I'm really excited about that because even though I've been belly dancing since like high school, I still very much consider myself a beginner just because is that better? Okay. It's just comfortable. I'll have the camera look where I end up instead of trying to stay in frame. But I wanted to learn to dance with a troupe, and like so a lot of it is learning that dance troupe's vocabulary and what their expectations are whenever they say like do a maya or a taksim, or we're going to do this style of step, and then learning the combos. And there is so much to learn. So even though I do like drills and stuff on my own, and I've hoop danced and been like a performing flow artist and stuff, I still very much consider myself a beginner when it comes to belly dance. So completing that first, like, was it 7 or 8 classes? No, I'm hooked, and I can't wait for them to start the next semester. Oh, Randy says it was 6 classes over 8 weeks, but there were a couple of cancellations in there, unfortunately. But my niece lives in Springfield, which is the town I was going to, so it was a wonderful opportunity to get to like kind of check in on her for the first couple of weeks of her being in her own apartment. I mean, she's got this. Okay, so I think these are going to be the last mushrooms that I work on today, and I'm going to use the rest of these for making little calla lily flowers. Because I think next week, y'all, we might be making this into an incense burner, because that would be perfect for on the porch too. Because I don't know if incense helps with mosquitoes, but it makes me feel better. And I just love lighting an incense, and it's kind of like setting a timer, like, because I've got some like real thin beeswax candles that I like to use for when I'm doing yoga, and that way I don't have to touch my phone or anything. I'll just do yoga till that candle's burnt up. And I like that same concept with an incense cone, that it's like, I'm not going to set a timer, but I'm going to hang out here and drink my coffee and pet this stray cat until the incense stops burning, and then I'll get back to my day. I'll be right back, y'all. Though I kind of wonder, should I do... No, I'm going to leave that one the way it is. Y'all. Behold. She like, look at my beans. Okay, I gotta stop laughing. Ember! Ember, I love you. Ember, why do you glare at me like that? What's up, Schnookums? My sweet little bean. My little boop. Oh. Yeah. Oh, little grumpy lumpkin. She's purring, though. Okay. She'll come over and she'll pester Randy until he picks her up. I gotta go put this in the oven. So, hey, honey. Do you know how much time is on the timer? Is there anything in the oven right now? Oh, okay. Well, excellent. Thank you. Oh, these are so pretty. Oh, look how those came out. Oh, and it's cooled off enough. Aw, bye, Ember. Okay, so the calla lilies have held up really well, it seems. Oh, I love that. That means that... Oh, Randy. Look at our calla lilies. Oh, yeah. Okay. Those are not the only ones of them that I made, are they? I could have sworn we had gotten some other ones. Ooh, I just found a little bin of rocks. Look at that. That's like a perfectly round... Oh, that's a moss agate bead. Okay. I found something lovely. What's this? Oh, that's carnelian, I bet. Okay. I love just hiding things in drawers for future Vaughn to get real excited about. But I've lost my thingy. Because, like, I made a bunch of those, didn't I? Those calla lilies last week. Just the two? Did I smush all the other ones up or something? I'm probably in some sort of fit of rage or... Okay, well, we'll find... Future Vaughn will find them eventually. Oh, that's good. Ball of clay, but I've got some other canes here. We've got some some lily pad canes. Oh, and that's a nice little leaf. And then that's a smaller version still. Oh, I love that one. See, and I do think that the Primo Sculpey does a better job on caning. There we go. Than the Cos clay. I love the Cos clay because I don't have to worry about it breaking as much. But the Primo gets some really nice, like, fine details. And so I love making little canes like that. And I like using contrasting colors. I think I'm actually just going to process that one down into something else because you can't really tell what's going on there. Ooh, that's another little one that we did. What did I even do on this one? Let me cut that. And then, oh, I still have this cane. Does this one? No, I had it. Ah! Oh, that looks so neat. We could do like a little mushroom applique. But look at how small the details got down to whenever you reduce these, you guys. There's a butterfly wing. Right on. That's right. Because I made it a little smaller still. I just love it. I love the way that canes and stuff reduce. Wackadoo says, now I want to play with clay again. I'm not going to lie. It's a ton of fun. Like, it really is. Like, I forget how fun clay is every time I, like, go a week without playing with it. And I'd gone a while without playing with it. So I had deeply, deeply forgotten. What should we do with that, I wonder? I'll be right back. Because I just had an idea. Oh, the rainbows are spreading. Yeah, we put a little bit of a rainbow film over the window. Just because the sunlight was coming directly in and giving me sunburns. Uh-oh. Ah, heck. I'll use this knitting needle. I can catch it while it falls. Yeah. Okay, so Jean, you were asking about UV resin. What I'm fixing to do here is 100% something that I'm going to be using UV resin on, because we have all of these plated alloy frames. Ooh, coffee. Oh, okay. Thank you, babe. It zoomed out. Coffee and Von time. Hey Herb, how are you doing? I'm doing really well today. I'm a little bad at keeping up with chat, so I'm really sorry for the wait. Ooh, I have a lot of clay and it's getting dry, so I have to mix baby oil with it. Right on. Well, we're about to cut into this. I don't know how long ago I had made this cane, but it's been a while. So let's see how it cuts. What is my hot glue gun? Ooh, nice and hot. Okay. I'm the happiest camper when I've got like 12 projects to juggle with no expectations from any of them. So I have sliced quite the dummy thick slice just now. Oh, and it broke a little there at the end. That's okay. That's to be expected, really. And I'm gonna try to kind of squishy smush. Just to, I don't know why I dumped out that whole container. I guess I was just being dramatic. I only need like 1 or 2 of these. I'm gonna do them in triangles though, because I love that. So let's see, I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do 10. Yo, I'm doing some different shapes too. That would be cute though, honey. That's actually a really cute idea. Pizza. Set the hot glue gun over here. So I'm going to use my acrylic roller to try to precondition this, because I really feel like if I were to just cram this like raw dog through the pasta machine, it would crumble on me. I don't think I used that term correctly. That's like wearing shoes with no socks, right? Nothing made me feel ancient like having our 19-year-old niece live with me. And I'd start using the terms, and she's like, and I'm like, is that not what that means? And she's like, no, that is not at all what that means. And I'm like, oh, okay. Ooh, oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, and then I'm going to find a thing. Big stone slab. Perfect. And then I'm going to squish the heck out of it. Down. Just using the thing. Oh, I should have done this. And see, it did break apart the way I was afraid it would, but that's all right. Psychedelic fairy garden wind chimes? Yeah. That sounds good. And then I'm just going to pull those parts away. There we go. Love it. And then we can kind of clean up with our fingertip. I am not going to be stingy. I'm just going to, like, if I try to save every pristine piece of scrap clay, I will lose my mind. I'm just going to use it to, like, mix together. It'll be fine. Says I to myself, who's like, it will not be fine, Vaughn. We're wasting clay. And it's like, no, just have fun and play. And so now we'll bake this, and we have just a little bit of a lip around the edge because this is just a little bit thicker than what our clay is. And so that's what I'll be doming the UV resin on. And I think that'll be pretty fun. What do you think, honey? The UV resin? Yeah, after baking. I've lost. There it is. Oh, these came out so cool, you guys. Look at the little smushy, weird. Ooh, I caught it with my belly. And then this guy, very nice. Which I like to use water-based polyurethane, like Minwax, polycrylic is what it is. It's polycrylic. I like using that to dome my cabochons here lately. And so now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to position it like so. Just trying to catch whatever part of the design I want to. Herb, that's a really good point, says it is never waste. You can always use it for fill on another project. And Jean says, hope it doesn't shrink. As far as I'm aware, the polymer clay doesn't shrink when we bake it, does it? We'll find out, says Randy. That's a good point. There we go. Just popping that off of there. But it's like, I'll see the pieces and I'm like, that's beautiful. We should save it. And I'm like, just mix it into the other thing. It'll be fine, Mom. And then just clearing out our hole for our bale. I'll be adding a bale to these probably with like a jump ring after it's been baked and domed and stuff. But the more work we do to tidy it now, the less work we'll have to do later. And I just got these frames, I think, on like Amazon, probably. Now, I am going to save the pieces that are a little larger. Here I go. I'm going to save them, boop, boop, so that I can try to strategically use them on my scrap as we go. Oh, I love the bulbous weird end. Okay. What can I encapsulate? Like, I want to capture our weird bulbous end. Because I just think that looks so cool. going to try to scrape off that little bit of discoloration. Maybe with this one. No, well, whenever, okay, well, we're going to need to run that out flat because it just occurred to me I can't. I was going to try to have it just be, we could just bake this as it is and then wire wrap it. Oh, and that is, we'll kind of wrap it in that style, but I don't believe this would be functional as a guitar pick. I just like that it reminds me of that beautiful malachite geode that we saw with the way that the nodules and stuff form. That's what that reminds me of. And so I love it. So I'm going to bake it. Boop. Just going to put that over there exactly as it is. Because once it's baked, I can then like sand the sides down a little bit and get it more like cabbed. Or I might end up never using it. We'll see. Anyways. So let's now take this. And we're just going to do a little slicey slice. And so this is the stiffness of clay that I'm used to working with, as opposed to the much softer Cos clay. What's up, honey? It is. Ow, says the kitty. Okay, so we're going to take that. I am going to pass each of these through the pasta machine just to make sure, because I'm not good at, that's not even, like that is not an even slice. And so I'm going to set that one aside. There we go. Just trying to get them to be uniform thicknesses. There we go. Got a little bit of distortion on that one, but I love it. In fact, that's quite cool. Okay, so I'm going to squish that one there. Pizza pendants, kinda. You could take the end, shape it with files and sandpaper into a cab, then wire wrap it. Right on. Right on. Herb says if it's too soft or warm, just pop it into the fridge for a few minutes and it stiffens up. Yeah, the Cos clay is real soft, and so that's pretty crucial. But I like being able to just take a nice firm clay and slice. I would be a chicken and paint UV resin on them instead of doming them. Gotcha. Which, I mean, that would really make it come to life too. Now for doming, I do prefer having a little bit more of like an established edge. Just because otherwise I feel like I'm always having it like running off the edges. Ooh, hey Kay, I didn't see you come in. She says, I've never had polymer clay shrink on me. I've made swirl clay cabochons. I've made both pendants and earrings and bracelets. Right on. It is so trippy through the roller, right? And so this is our scrap kind of just like squished together. And I'm going to feed it through. And so you can see, and I clearly used like some pearlescence in here. And so I love the shimmer that's coming up. What up, baby? With her tail? She's like, don't look away. She loves glaring into your eyes. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Was there another one? No. Okay. So there's another little pizza pendant. Turtles. And Randy's right. I don't know how many it would take to make come full circle, but we'll see. I'm going to do all the triangles first just to see. What do you think of that, honey? He says, mm-hmm. Totally digging these mushrooms. Putting our little bits of scrap clay over yonder. And I just want to make sure I'm capturing. Oh, that's a nice angle. Ooh, Hannah says that Cubs looks like a little like an abstract koi painting with the oranges and blacks. Oh, I love that. Herb says, I use primarily Sculpey clays and never have too many problems. Right on. Gajira. Thank you, Dashers. Ooh. Oh, that scorched down nicely. But I love it because it's just all the way through, so it's... But I love these metal frames because they give such a, I think, such a clean and professional look to my polymer clay that can otherwise look a little kiddish. Like it's hard for me to not see everything I've ever made in my life out of Play-Doh every time I look at what I've made out of polymer clay. And so I still, after all this time, have this like intrinsic belief that it's worth less because I made it. Not worthless, but just worth less. And so I'm trying to break free of my own crappy thought patterns. So when in doubt, craft it out. But yeah, these little metal frames help me to like just bypass that. So it's like, it looks like real jewelry now. Which is strange because I never feel that way about other folks' work. Like, I've never once felt that way about somebody else's work. And yet here I am feeling that way about my own. So if only it were as easy as saying, I'm going to change my mindset. And there it is, changed. It's like, no, I actually have to like weed the garden. Love it. And I really think this is kind of going to come to life whenever we have the UV resin on it. Ooh. Hey, Saki girl, how's it going? I think I'm going to take this little thing here. No, I need to finish that first project. Focus, Tiny Wonder. Okay. So now I'm going to take this. Or do we have a shape that will... a rumph and grumble. Okay, so I'm going to bring all of my... Oh, I forgot to bake this. Okay, I'll put it on there to bake later. This is my ball of scrap clay that I'm going to feed through our pasta machine. And now I'm going to put these guys on here. All of our little scrap bits in a such and such way. And now this is going to be really tricky because this bottom clay is Cos clay, so very, very soft. This stuff, Sculpey Primo, very, very firm. And it's also like aged Sculpey Primo. So I'm going to need to just be mindful of that as we proceed. And I'm just going to keep stacking. Anything with a pattern on it, really. I don't care how abstract it gets. I just don't want to waste all the prettiness. She fell in the lamp box? Oh, does she like it? She loves the lamp box. Good. She straight up had the zoomies through the house earlier today. It always makes me happy. Okay, so we're going to take this. I want to share the experience of passing. I'm tangled on my glue gun. Okay. So there we are. I can still clear the tripod, so we're good to go. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to feed it through. Let's see what happens. Oh. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It came out awesome. And no, it's a little like crinkly because of the very soft clay on the back. And so that's spreading more than these are spreading. So, and I shouldn't have put it down on size 2. So what I'm going to try instead is I'm just going to fold it like this and I'm going to feed it through and just see what happens. Because I don't know. I don't think I like it. Let's see. We might be able to start getting some spreading. Level 6? Woo, Michelle. I don't even know what that was. Something just made a loud ping from the kitchen. But yeah, so we're going to start getting, I'm just going to do the folding and rolling. This is what I was afraid of with the mixing of the clay. I'll want to, in the future, have a stiffer clay for our background. Because otherwise, one just shapes itself around the other. Ow, says the cat. All right, and I'm going to use this as the base for these mushrooms. So no such thing as waste. It's pretty neat. I'm going to see what happens as we fold and roll. My fear is that it's going to get like crazy goopy. Time to test the theory. Oh, a nice little strata. Like what kind of igneous, like tiger's eye, Randy says, but what kind of, igneous or metamorphic rock is this starting to resemble? I love it. There we go. It's starting to come through. Perfect. I think that's about as well blended as we're going to get it today. So I'm going to bring this forward again. I'm going to drink some water because it's my first bottle of the day. 4 more levels. Ooh, ooh. Try a turquoise color thingy. I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, so I'm going to use, this is my base. Randy, do you have a screw or anything? Just like a little one. I'd like to screw a screw into this to bind it. Does that make sense? I'm going to put these guys away because I can always dig them back out again. Yeah, not bad for making just a couple of pendants. And I'm going to be honest, I love this color. It does not sell well out of our booth, but it is very eye-catching. So I don't mind a bit making some things to indulge my own tastes, even though I know that they don't particularly, even though I think that they don't particularly sell very well. I'm still going to have fun making them because you never know. It might be like all the freaking rage or something. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, bye, Wackadoo. Have fun. Be safe at the vet. I hope everything goes out okay. You could have cut off that black smear over by doing a small shavings on the clay. Oh, now that's a much better idea, Mama. Let's just rewind it and we would be back to the color it was. I'm not torn up about it at all. We've got these pieces over here. I've got more and more canes. A whole lot of it's just letting go and appreciating something for sometimes what it turns into. Are we going to do a pilot hole or just screw a screw in? Okay, we're just screwing a screw. I admire my own self-control sometimes. Like, you want to screw? I think this is a bolt, really. Oh, it's a screw? Okay. So, do you want me to use both of these? What are these from? Just some other project? I'm so bad at this with a tripod directly in the way. Okay. We're gonna give ourselves some headspace. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't trust the polymer clay to just like adhere directly to the wood. Wah. Perfect. So we're just going to drill it in just a bit. We just want it in there. We don't want it coming through to the back. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, honey. And that gives our clay something that it can connect to. Take a hammer and whack the screw. Yeah, I usually do prefer to do pilot holes, but this is such soft wood that once it gets any kind of hold, it does fine. So now we've globbed that on there, and this will be a nice little base in theory for our mushrooms to stick into. Because I bet we can take this and put some sort of like dome or jar over it or something, and it'll be very cute. So now there's, and also what's perfect about this is we can test some different angles. We can test some different heights for our mushrooms. What up, baby? Ah, well, that's a good idea. So I don't know if I should just do like a little cluster like this. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to trim just a little bit off of this one. You can always trim more off. I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to do with this, but I'm excited about it. And I'm just going to squish that on in. That's too far over. There we go. Blub, 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 blub. I'm going to trim just a little bit off of that one. Or do I want to do this one more just up right out of the middle? I don't really like that. I think I liked it better in the first spot. There we go. And so now I kind of want to do, we've got some different crystals and things. I've got this whole crystal here. That's too big. We could put a little marble. Oh, I love that. Might set a little marble there. Or do we want to do something larger here in the center? It lures crafters like me in with a shiny, and then they go poof, and they brainwash us. Is with the whole hunting strategy of these mushrooms, you guys. Don't trust them. Just an odd little specimen. And instead of planting that right there, oh, that's sticky clay. Oh, there we go. We're gonna Valerie says, I love orange. Right on. Let's see. We can take, we have this leaf cane. Or the, oh, here it is, right next to me. So this is more of the Sculpey Primo made into a leaf cane. I think we did a tutorial on ages ago. Well, that clay still works, so here we are. And I do like to take and pinch down the edges to just a little thinner from the slice. And that way it's thick enough to be relatively robust, but we don't have to worry about like sanding or anything. It just gives it a nice, like, a little bit more of a natural look, I think. I'm going to bring this in. I mean, as natural as something that's glittery and glowing can be, but I digress. I'm going to press that there, and I'm going to use my medium ball stylus to just kind of press and blend. And that way it's just like a beautifully framed pearl of luring. Oh, wow. I love the layers in that. Good night, Anika. Thank you so much for hanging out. But like when I see this, I just, for some reason, it's like, dun, 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 dun. Like that's what that reminds me of. That's all, folks. Like, yeah. Ooh, what's this? I think this is just like an extruded cane. Wow, look at the way that the different clays separated from each other. That's weird. And so again, as thick as this one is, like that's a solid 3 millimeters, maybe even a little thicker in spots. I'm just going to take that, I'm going to put it into the palm of my hand, and we can actually press and drag and give ourselves much more of like a cabbage leaf type edge. If you want. And then I'm going to kind of press that together. And just pressing down into the clay. Because I want to make like just some nice like little filler pieces that with this being on wood, it'll probably be on a part of my porch closer towards the house, because we're very blessed to have a very deep porch. But if I could put like a little dome over this, not to scale, but if oh, there's some, huh? Oh no. Okay, just a sec. I've got more broken glass everywhere. Heck. Who's a bot? Do we have a bot? Okay. First off, I do love the name, The Noob Slayer, but great stream, 100. I really enjoy this game. You are performing well. I could like to play with you sometime. Add me up on Discord. A human that, oh my god, I love you. That's that's the greatest. I am human. Great game. Ah, but yeah. Oh, and it might be nice that it is broken. I don't think I can flame polish this without it getting mad at me. But just to keep it contained. And then I like the little monster I made for Randy. Just broke it farther. Yeah, it's problems waiting to happen. But okay. Another leaf. I think I do prefer to leave these as a cane instead of pre-slicing them in this manner. But it is kind of nice. Less work now Vaughn has to do. So again, I'm kind of priming it by pinching the edges. Just that little bit can heat it up, because I'll show you on this one. If I came in and just tried to sculpt it without squishing it, we're gonna run into some problems with brittleness, which is okay. It's just something to know about. Like, we're not doomed and done for. It's just good to know to expect it. So, and whenever, huh? Ruined, says Randy. But I do really like to take these and go like this and like roll it out. And we can make some cool little, let's make a bunch of tentacles. Yes. Okay. This is my kind of plant. But we can just turn it into a little, like, tendril. And I just like to kind of curl that away. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Sorry, please pardon the demented giggling. I'm just having fun. So I hope this wood doesn't catch on fire when we bake it. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so now we're gonna just scrape off. If you get some dirt or something on it, it just scrapes right off. But yeah, so now when we pinch on the edges, though, that just seems to heat everything right up. It's like it reactivates it and it's ready to go. Add a little bit of water to the dry clay. It might help, or even tiny drop of baby oil. Really? Okay, body for the butterfly wings in the center. Oh. Good night, Hannah. Thanks so much for hanging out. And you can go wild with all the details that you add to these. Like, I'm not really bothering with like doing too much. I'm adding a little bit of ruffling, like cabbage style, to the edges here, but you could totally come in and like deepen down the veining. I'd want to use a finer tipped tool, but I like to start with something a little thicker first. And then we could come in with like a porcupine quill or a finer tipped ball stylus, or even our needle tool. But I personally don't see a huge benefit to that if I'm not going to be putting the antique on it, because a lot of those details might not necessarily come through, but it is good to know that you always have options. And also, just because I don't feel drawn to something, if you are like, I gotta try that, do it. Try it. See how it goes. Ooh, 30 minutes. And so here we go. Bringing this down. Right in there in the center. Just building up like a weird little flower thing. Let's grab at least 2 more leaves. Do I have any more that are big like that? Yeah, that'll work. Oh, uh-oh. Well, I broke that one's little head off. Oh no, it'll be another tendril. So this one, yeah, I'm just gonna, I want the glow in the dark on the outside quite a bit, so I'm gonna try to fold it and shape it that way. I had a family member who was, this was years and years ago, but I'm just shining light on it because I think that's what shame needs done too. Whenever I feel shame within myself, I try to talk about it out loud to strangers on the internet. And well, not all strangers, not anymore. A lot of y'all have become some of my best friends, but a family member was discussing commissioning something from me, and it was like a fairy house themed cat tree. And I was like just brainstorming, and I don't know what came around, but and what ended up being said is, it's like, oh yeah, she'll love that. She likes useless things. Which, like, I like to think that I can handle getting picked on like pretty reasonably, but like I do expect to be treated with basic respect. Um just because I try to always be basically respectful, like as best as I can manage. And so sometimes it feels like it's like, you're just being an asshole, aren't you? But sometimes when I'm having fun, that voice will creep back in and, just kind of murmur, talking shit in my ear, just like, And I'm like, you know what? I love useless things, I guess, but I don't think it's useless at all. I love any fun little thing that can stimulate the imagination and make the mundane feel a little bit more magical. And getting to make stuff is just pure magic to me. Like, I love it. So, ooh, I like that. Yes. Oh, Cricket, that's such a good idea. It says maybe wrap the tentacles up the mushroom stems. And I got this whole thing of, I'm just trying to clear up some space and use up some old projects. And it's like, I don't need to be hoarding it. I need to be using it. Let's make some art. And so kind of compressing to get less of a crinkle in the center. But I find myself looking at this and I'm like, what is this even for? It's just sitting around. And that's whenever, the voices of criticisms from others, unconstructive criticisms from others, I don't mind criticism as long as it's helpful, will whisper in whenever I'm feeling, insecure if there's a crack in my armor. A demigorgon. Well, I was going to put the little pearl right in the middle. Like, the edges? Oh, I don't know if I could pull that off. They'd be tiny. That's a very good idea, but I'm not going to do it on this one because is that all right? Okay. Well, I hate to not. You have such great suggestions, and I never take them because I'm already committed to my project. Maybe on the next one. So I'm just going to place that there and kind of smush it in a little. But I don't want to smush it down too hard because I want this one. We're going to have to kind of stack this next leaf underneath that one to get that nice whirl effect. But I don't know. I don't think I should have to explain why art is useful. Like, I don't feel like having that discussion with myself today. It just is, by golly. So, yeah, if I could find like a little glass thing to put over this. How would I do that if I were to put little teeth on the edges of these to make them look like a demigorgon mouth? I don't even know how I would do that. I'm open to suggestions though. Okay, just attached to the back or? Well, uh-huh. Okay, but I don't know how I would attach them. Like, so that they're not just getting knocked off. Like, would I need, I think I'd need to make them, bake them, and then I could poke them into the unbaked clay. Like, does that make sense? And this is a little tiny for that for me. I'd do it on a big, like, head-sized piece, but tiny stuff is, it kind of kills me. Oops, so I broke it, but that's okay. We'll just glob a thing on it and no one will know. So now we're going to take that and put it in the center and go like smush. Oh, I love it. And it's just beckoning. Like, oh, a little shiny. Plant gonna get you. Okay. So from here, okay. So we're just gonna make another tendril out of this guy. So I'm going to start with the tendrils that are coming out, like away from it. Oh, it didn't quite. Okay. It's a little heavy, so I don't want to be. I think I'm going to use this tendril to hold this mushroom up just a bit. And just blending that line together. And now that that base is secured, I can start twisting and give some tension and shape to the little tentacle. So yeah, so now I'm just grabbing some leaves. If I can get them pulled apart from each other, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I do like this cane and I would like to use it in future projects. But if I can't get them pulled apart and if they like break on me instead, those I will make into tendrils first. But yeah, look at this little gradient. I was doing so good. Good job, Past Fawn. I'm proud of you. Like, ooh, such shiny. Well darn. For the record, pretty sure all a monster people eating plant would need to do is have something like that poking out of it and I'd be super dead. Oh, it'd get me every time. I'm so kidnappable by plants. Like, are you kidding me? They'd get me even without the shiny. Aw, Kay, I love that. She says, don't worry about their cloudy skies. Shine your light anyway. I'm trying. I really am. I get tired sometimes, but I still trying my darndest. And since I don't think we'll get to see this one done today, because I was gonna wait to hot glue on the like the moss until after it's been baked, because baking moss didn't work out. Even though I want it to, unless it's moss made out of clay, but. Which I think that's actually what I had made this cane for, is or I was trying to make a leaf, but I ended up using it as I just cut slices and smush it, and then I'd poke it, and it was such a nice little like green blend for making polymer clay moss. Okay, so now we have all of those. I really loved this cane, y'all. That was probably one of the canes I was most proud of, and I can't remember whose tutorial I followed for it, but I really liked how that came out. Then we even have some, oh, a wee bitty. Oh, I found some scrap clay. Wee! Okay, so I bet some of these guys can just get absorbed into the scrap clay. Okay. Uh-oh, I have another sneeze coming. Oh, excuse me. But I do have a project that I think we can throw together really quick using some of my hoarded materials. Oh, I got it. But now I'm going to have to put all these leaves back in this drawer. Okay, that's okay. You can kind of take them, and I'm only going to do like 4 more tendrils. I'm going to put that back in there, and I'm going to go scooch this just right off to the side. I'll be right back, because I've had these mushrooms for ages, really, these little mushroom caps, and I'm not even certain why I moved them over here. Oh, where are they? Found you. Now these ones don't glow in the dark yet, but that's okay. We can take another one of these coasters. I'm going to use this one because it's cracked. Ouch. And so that just seems perfect. And then we have from the same batch of clay. Look at these spears at Randy. I found your bowls. Your fluorite and your labradorite and what is this? Bloodstone? A jasper? It's beautiful. I've been keeping them over here in this drawer. So these are some tentacles that I had made out of like Sculpey. And they 100%, like I was using them for demonstration purposes to be like, they gonna break. So from here, what I'm gonna do is let's see if I have any stems that I can just like hot glue on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to just hot glue them on, but we'll see. So I was kind of thinking of just hot gluing a bunch of these broken tentacles and having like the little mushrooms. I don't know. Now that I have it directly in front of me, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about using something that I know is gonna, because it's, I love them. I love these little tentacles. I loved making them, but they're too easy to break. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to throw them away because hashtag hoarding, but I don't know what to do with those. Oh, thank you. From here, the tip looks like a giant bug. Ooh. I'm super loving these. I can't wait to see how it looks glowing in the dark. So tonight we'll have to get some video of it, and so keep an eye out on, probably here on YouTube. And now I'm just gonna flump while it's still soft. I like to Can resin be completely encased in resin? Yeah, I think so. Why? Like, yeah, actually. I think that's how they get the little stars inside the Dragon Balls. Well, at least the ones that have like 3D Dragon Balls, like 3D stars in them. Oh, like could broken tentacles be a scene in resin? Oh, yes. I would want to dip, since there's so much surface texture on these, I would want to like kind of dip them in resin first, and let that cure. And then I would feel confident once the surface is smooth that there's not going to be any like trapped air bubbles, or if I had like a pressure pot or something. I do not have a pressure pot. But that's the route I would take. That'd be really cool. Do I have red India inks? I may. Dasher. Yeah. I'd worry that each of the tentacle holes would have like bubbles on it though, so it would look. I don't know. At some point I started worrying more about what's not going to work than just being excited about what might. And so I'm really sorry that like every time I feel like every time y'all give suggestions, I'm like, yeah, that's great, except, and it's like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be like a naysayer. But I'm working through it. So please do not stop suggesting things just because I'm a frumpy grumplin'. But I'm trying to work on my knee-jerk reaction, not being like, no, that's not going to work because of this. It's like I want to be like, you know, I want to be looking for, well, this would be a challenge, but we could do this. Like, that mindset is critical, and I don't know when I deviated from that mindset, but I miss it. Oh, I don't know, Jean. YouTube, that's why we started streaming on Kick too. Like dual streaming is because YouTube can be really hit and miss on their quality, on like just maintaining stream. So rolling this out. Valerie. UV resin right on. So just shaping her. Oh, didn't mean to wander out of frame if I was. But like I don't like being negative, and I find myself being so negative sometimes. All right, I think this is ready to bake, but first I'm going to put little dimples over our little stone or like soil base, whatever it is that this is growing out of. Which in my mind, it's just building up its own organic material around its roots. That way, you know, it can build up a stronger root system. So this is just the decomposed remnants of its previous victims. Whee! Biology. Plants, because it's not far off. And now that gives us a little bit of surface area that we can then glue like moss to, if we decide to do that. Oh, thank you, Saki girl. Well, it's y'all catch me at my best. My husband gets to tolerate me through all my mood swings. So, and he's usually the one whose ideas it is that I'm like, and it's like he's the one, like I love his ideas. Like, not to pick favorites, but he's my favorite, you guys. Like, oh, sitting too long. What do you think, baby?
It looks awesome.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to find a jar or something to put it in so it doesn't get us. I'm gonna go put it in the oven. A big mason jar. Ooh! I've been hoarding a pickle jar just for this occasion. Nice and pickly. Yeah. That won't work. Well, I'd love something about this size that's glass dome style, like clarity, so it doesn't have like the pickle jar label line from the Members Mark working gherkins that I do enjoy so much. All right, we're gonna go pop these into the oven. I'm gonna make some space on the little tile, and keep an eye out for, you know, us on your social media of choice. I think I'm just gonna be posting it here onto YouTube because y'all, I'm so tired of like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and so it's like I'll just post it to the community page here on YouTube. So gonna go put this in the oven for a solid, probably like an hour, honestly. Well, I think these cabs that are in here might be done. Did you have a timer going, babe? Me neither. They look good. They're a little on fire, but they're good. No, they're not on fire. So here's our little mushroom caps. Set a timer, you guys. Do better than me. Woo! I'm just going to pop them off, even though they're about 275 degrees, because I want them to cool faster. Woo! 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 Oh, it's cooking me through the oven mitt. I actually really, really dig this one. Let me grab it from a different angle and woo, 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 ow, woo. There we go. Okay. I'm going to set that down right there. What, babe? I did that just fine. I did. So now, is this all of them? I lost count. There's one. What we can do from here is we could drill and then plant. Oh, thank you. We could drill into the bottoms of these once they're cooled and use, I'd put just a little bit more clay to make the gills and then insert the stem. But we have 8 minutes. Ooh, Tasher says, when that one thing you've been hoarding comes in handy, chef's kiss. There's no purer form of dopamine. Right? Yep, now you'll have to look at Goodwill and everywhere to find a jar. Yeah, for sure. I love how this one came out though, y'all. Like, it's so, like, weird. Ooh, ow. Ooh, it's very warm. Woo! Alright, I'm burning off my giblets. I'm going to scooch these over off of the work surface. And for the next little bit, I'm going to make some of these calla lilies because I'm very excited about these. So to do the calla lilies, I'm going to be using a needle tool. And we're just going to cut a slice. Well, what's up, pretty kitty? Because I want to make calla lilies out of this entire cane. And so I'm just going to squish all the edges, like whole round. Sweet Randy. It's not me making demands of him, it's the cat. So we've made that shape, and I'm going to come in and I'm just going to start shaping around one edge to make like a little rolled shape. I'm going to support this bottom part with my fingers, and I'm going to pull up to make thinner those edges, and then I'm just going to dimple, like a little pinch right there to make that little pitcher plant style poke up. Like, boop, 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 yeah. And then I'm going to pull that out, and that's where we will put our wire through. I'm going to set that down. But yeah, whenever I make these into something, I'll probably just use like a green craft wire or florist's wire or something and put it through. Maybe hook a little bead through the wire and feed it through. Gosh, we could make earrings and stuff. Like, their possibilities are endless, you guys. So, if there's a crafter, there's a way. Before we go, because we only have a couple of minutes, do y'all have any questions or anything that you want to talk about before we go? So just grabbing right there, rolling. And I like to hold right there while I pinch and shape just a little further. And then I'm just kind of pressing down and back on that. And that's where I make the little point. Ooh, and sometimes I poke it with my fingernail, but you know what? Sometimes a flower gets nibbled on by a bunny or munched on by a bug. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's perfect exactly how it is, with all of its quirks and mistakes and whatever you want to call it, with all of its character. Our next stream is, I don't know if we're streaming this Friday, are we? Yeah. We're not going to have our Friday live streams for a while because all of my flow props are dead, and like my poi and my hoop are like DED dead. And my sister's coming to visit. We've got family coming in. So we're not going to be having any Friday streams, but you can expect to see us on Mondays. And then we have a premiere at 3 p.m. on Fridays. So, and other than that, you can find us on social media, posting real short TikToks, trying desperately to keep the business going. So, uh, we post every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday to social media with like either like stuff demonstrating how to do things, or like, I don't know, it's just, we're just working on it. So, but and we do have a calendar up on our website, backtoearthcreations.com, where you can see our events, like whether we're streaming or whether we're vending. I'm really excited. We're going to be scoping out a potential vending venue, because I'm really excited to kind of get back out there and sell to humans in person. And just be a little bit of a social butterfly so that I can then come back home and be a happy hermit again. Instead of trying to hope in an algorithm or some platform will actually send my friends, a notification. There we go. Another little calla lily. Boom, third one done. So these go by, once you have the cane made, they go by relatively quickly, I think for how nice they come out. And I'm finding I like about 2 millimeters thick. And I wonder how large of a calla lily we can make. So for that one, I'm going to be using my wide tissue blade. Make sure it's clean. And I'm going to come in here and we're going to slice about that thick. That's a dummy thick. Jean says, I didn't know it was this late. Wow, the day just flew by. Yeah. How it goes. I'm kind of pleased for the daylight savings time. I know I can go out and graze the chickens before bed. That's my strategy to try to protect them from predators, is I just spend their like last 15 to 20 minutes of the day out there with them, guarding them while they walk around the yard. Get some grazing in, try to keep them out of my seedlings. We got some trying to stay in frame. We got some peas and some radishes planted, just direct sown in, but I don't have any like proper transplants started. I just don't know if I have it in me this year. I want to, but just tired. Yeah, if we're on a larger flower, I'm gonna want to bring out much thinner edges. So don't hesitate. If something's not like, if you feel like it, you can repair it, by all means, have at it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to really bring that edge out thinner. Like right to the edge. Huh? You not got plant maters? Normally I would have my tomatoes and peppers started already, but I decided I'm just going to buy transplants of them this year, and we wouldn't be planting them out until May anyways, so that gives me some time to save up for it. I'm hoping we do real well at Anime St. Louis, and then we'll have a little bit of money to spend on some flowers and stuff. But I've got a lot of seeds, so I'm gonna just direct sow them and see what grows and what does well. And who knows, it might be our best year ever. So there's a nice big calla lily. Worm poop? I love worm poop. My mom is really big into gardening. She called me one day just losing her mind. She is so excited to buy worm poo. Worm poo is black gold. Like, it is worth its weight in gold. Like, did she get, like, tell me about your mom's worm poo, Tashers, right now, please. Oh, I direct sow my cucumbers, typically. They never do well for me, but I direct sow them. But they don't do well for me whether I grow a transplant of them either. She's biting the lamp. She says it tickles my whiskers. Just wanted to say that remember, haters will be haters, but that doesn't make you anything bad. God doesn't make mistakes with his projects. Oh, Mama Kay, I love that. Thank you. And I'm just here waiting for Tashers to type so I hope Kit doesn't eat her comics. I'm like, tell me about the poo. Like, right now, is it in a bag of it or was she growing her own? Like, Tashers' mom, I know you have a Kik account. Come tell me about your poo. Maybe try some bush cukes. Oh, like a non-climbing variety? That might be nice. Do it. Her and my aunt went out and got these worms that they feed their compost to. Somehow it's special and their castings are super gardening awesome. Yes, they are. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for typing that. I've paid $50 for a bag of worm castings before. So it's like, yeah, those things are literally just pooping gold. With the wiggle worms. Oh, did they make their own setup or did they get one of those like already put together for you worm farm bins? Oh, we're 3 minutes over? Okay. Like my friend gave from her email you? No, that's okay. It's all right. I just like hearing about it. Alrighty, y'all. I'll have to come into another one of your streams while she's there and get her to tell me all about it. Alrighty, you guys. That is us for today. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. We have more tutorials and stuff coming all the time, so be sure to check our website to see what we have next. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Ooh, she has her own setup she's making in the basement. My father is not the most pleased, but when she retires in like a year, she's converting the office to worm poo farming and hydroponics. Dude, that is so cool. But we will see y'all. Woo! Brenda says Locoman makes worm poo for the farmers and gardeners. It works wonderful. It really is. The plants love it. I put a scoop of it into my house plants, and then that's the only thing I do, and they're still alive after all this time. So it must work. But I'll see y'all next time. So thank you so much for hanging out, and until then, happy crafting, you guys. Mwah. Truly though, thank you for hanging out with us today. You go. Oh, Ember, what you doing? You pressing the button?